Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Lincoln wheat pennies, but not just any pennies. We're talking about the top 5 most valuable Abraham Lincoln wheat pennies that are worth a fortune in today's market, some even valued in the millions of dollars. We're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American numismatics, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny. This small copper coin might just be sitting in your pocket change, and if you're lucky, it could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Stick around because we're going to uncover its rich history, explore the mysteries behind its minting, and reveal just how much this coin could be worth in today's market. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln wheat penny was introduced in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first United States coin to feature the image of a real person, and who better than the 16th president himself. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features a side profile of Lincoln, while the reverse displays 2 stalks of wheat curving around the words, 1 cent. This iconic design remained in circulation until 1958. Now, let's zoom into the year 1955. It was a pivotal year for Lincoln cents, and not just because of the famous 1955 double die error, which we'll talk about later. The 1955 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coin we're focusing on today is the 1955 D, with the D mint mark indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint was the workhorse of the U.S. mint system in the 1950s, known for producing high quantities of coins with impressive consistency. In 1955 alone, the Denver Mint struck over 563 million Lincoln wheat pennies. Because of this high mintage, you might think this coin is common and not worth a second glance. But don't be so quick to judge. While most 1955 Lincoln cents are relatively common in worn condition, there are certain factors that can make your coin highly desirable to collectors. Condition, mint errors, and even minor varieties can significantly boost a coin's value. Let's take a closer look. First, condition. Like most collectible coins, the value of a 1955 wheat penny increases dramatically with grade. A heavily circulated coin with scratches and wear may only fetch a few cents to a couple dollars. But if you're lucky enough to have a coin in uncirculated condition, also known as mint state, it could be worth a lot more. In today's market, a 1955 Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is typically worth between 5 cents and 50 cents. That may not seem like much, but if you find one in mint state condition, things start to get interesting. An MS-63 red example can fetch around $15 to $20. Go higher, to MS-65 or even MS-67, and you're looking at values upwards of $100, sometimes more depending on appeal and market demand. Now, let's talk about what really excites collectors, errors and varieties. One of the most famous coin errors in American history is the 1955 double die penny, but it's important to note that this dramatic error came from the Philadelphia Mint, not Denver. However, that doesn't mean the 1955 D is error-free. On the contrary, there are known die cracks, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes among 1955 D coins. Some of these varieties are subtle, while others are instantly noticeable and can boost the coin's value into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One popular variety is the 1955 D over D repunched mint mark. This occurs when the mint mark was stamped more than once, but slightly off alignment. Under magnification, you can see the doubling clearly. These RPMs, or repunched mint marks, can fetch prices from $30 to over $200 depending on the sharpness and grade of the coin. Let's say you're lucky enough to come across a flawless 1955 Lincoln cent in MS-67 red condition. According to recent auction records, some examples have sold for over $1,000. That's right, 1 penny turned into a 4-figure payday. And remember, coins with strong luster, no spotting, and full original red coloration are the ones that attract the highest premiums. But wait, there's more. What if your coin has a rare error and it's in high grade? That's the jackpot. Coins like this are highly sought after by elite collectors and can reach into the thousands at auction. For example, a 1955 D wheat penny with a dramatic die crack running across Lincoln's profile in near-perfect condition sold for over $1,500 at a major coin show. How can you tell if your 1955 D penny is valuable? Start by examining it closely. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the date, mint mark, and overall condition. Look for unusual characteristics like doubling, cracks, or misalignment. Then check the color. Is it red, red-brown, or brown? Red coins are the most valuable, especially in mint state grades. If you believe your coin might be special, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations authenticate and grade coins using a 70-point scale, which helps buyers and sellers understand a coin's quality and market value. A professionally graded coin carries more weight in the collector's market and can sell for much more than a raw, ungraded coin. Now let's talk about today's market. As of now, the demand for high-quality Lincoln wheat pennies remains strong. Collectors love building full date and mintmark sets, and the 1955 D is an essential piece of that puzzle. Prices for mint state examples have been rising slowly but steadily, especially for coins in MS 66 and above. That means now is a great time to check your collection, your change jars, and even your childhood piggy bank. You might just find a treasure hiding in plain sight. To recap, the 1955 D Lincoln wheat penny may seem like just another old coin, but its story is rich, its design is iconic, and its value can surprise you. From common circulated examples worth a few cents to high-grade rarities worth hundreds or even thousands, this coin deserves a closer look. And if you're lucky enough to discover one with a mint error or near-perfect luster, you could be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. So keep your eyes open. Check your coins. You never know what you might find. We are diving deep into the fascinating story and value of the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny. A coin that many people overlook but could be worth a small fortune today. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln wheat penny series started in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features a profile portrait of Lincoln on the obverse side and two stylized wheat ears on the reverse. It quickly became a beloved piece of American currency and was minted until 1958, when the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial. Now let's focus on the year 1946. This penny was minted just after the end of World War II. It marked the beginning of the post-war period in the United States. As the nation was rebuilding, the U.S. Mint resumed producing coins in regular copper composition. During the war years, especially in 1943, pennies were made of zinc-coated steel to save copper for war efforts. By 1946, the mint had returned to using a bronze alloy made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your coin has no mint mark, it was struck in Philadelphia. A small D or S under the date indicates Denver or San Francisco, respectively. Now let's talk mintage numbers. In 1946, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 991 million pennies, the Denver Mint made about 315 million, and the San Francisco Mint struck over 198 million. Combined, that's more than 1.5 billion pennies. So yes, this coin is common, but not all 1946 pennies are created equal. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. Most 1946 pennies found in circulation today show heavy wear and are only worth a few cents to a dollar. But if you have a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially one with a rare error or variety, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's break it down by mint and condition. A 1946 penny from Philadelphia in average circulated condition is typically worth around 5 to 25 cents. But in uncirculated condition, prices can range from $1 up to $20 depending on the grade. In MS65 red condition, meaning a bright red luster with no wear, the coin can be worth around $40 to $60. For the 1946 D penny from the Denver Mint, the values are similar. In circulated condition, these coins are common and generally worth less than $1. But in higher grades, prices go up. An MS-65 red 1946 D Lincoln wheat penny is worth about $75. That's a nice return for a single cent. Now let's talk about the 1946 S penny from San Francisco. This one is also widely available in circulated grades, worth just a few cents. However, in mint state condition with full red color, these coins can bring in values of $60 to $100. A pristine example certified by a top grading company could even fetch more, but here's where it gets exciting. Some rare varieties and errors of the 1946 penny can bring massive premiums. Collectors go wild for double die errors, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and die cracks. A 1946 penny with a clear double die obverse, for example, has sold for over $300 depending on the grade and strength of the doubling. There's also the rare transitional errors to watch for. Though it's unlikely, some coins may have been struck on leftover planchets from previous years or foreign metals. These minting anomalies are incredibly rare, but when authenticated, they can be worth thousands. One particularly famous 1946 Lincoln cent error was a double strike that sold at auction for more than $2,000. Another 1946 S penny with a bold repunched mint mark was graded MS-66 red and sold for over $450. These high-value coins are out there, and many are still sitting in old jars, drawers, and inherited coin collections. That if you think you have a valuable 1946 penny, how do you find out what it's worth? The best way is to get it professionally graded by a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate the coin, assign it a grade, and encapsulate it in a protective holder that helps maintain its value. Once graded, collectors and dealers will know exactly what they're buying, and you can potentially sell your penny for top dollar. Now let's talk about current market trends. As of 2025, the coin collecting market is strong. High-grade Lincoln cents are in demand, especially those with red luster and certified by major grading companies. Online auctions are booming, and prices have been climbing steadily for key dates and rare varieties. A beautiful MS-67 red 1946 Lincoln cent recently sold on eBay for over $1,000. That's a stunning price for a coin that's nearly 80 years old and originally worth just 1 cent. So next time you're going through old change or checking an inherited collection, don't overlook the humble 1946 Lincoln wheat penny. It may be small, but it carries a big history and, in the right condition, could carry a big price tag too. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to coin collecting. Check for mint marks, examine for errors, and if your penny looks pristine, consider getting it graded. You never know when that old copper coin in your hand could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny and want to learn more about valuable coins that could be hiding in your change, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're uncovering the full story behind one of the most iconic and sought-after coins in American numismatic history, the 1956 D Lincoln wheat penny. This unassuming 1-cent coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but some of these small copper treasures have fetched thousands of dollars at auction. And one particular 1956 D penny has stunned collectors by being valued at over $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a 1-cent coin worth a fortune. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the rich history, unique details, and incredible market value of the 1956 D Lincoln wheat penny. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, this is one video you don't want to miss. Let's begin with a bit of history. The 1956 D penny is part of the Lincoln wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. These pennies feature the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, of the coin, making it the first regular-issue U.S. coin to depict a real historical figure. Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, has become one of the most enduring and iconic images in American coinage. The reverse of the coin features 2 wheat ears flanking the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, giving the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. Now, let's focus on the 1956 D wheat penny specifically. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, where over 1 billion of these coins were struck, specifically, more than 1,056,000,000, to be exact. That makes the 1956 D one of the more common dates in the Lincoln Wheat series. But don't let that fool you. Rarity is only part of what makes a coin valuable. Condition, errors, and historical significance can all drive prices sky high. In circulated condition, the average 1956 D Lincoln Wheat cent is worth only a few cents, maybe 5 to 10 cents. In higher grades like about uncirculated or mint state 60, prices begin to rise, often into the $1 to $5 range. But in pristine uncirculated condition, especially coins graded MS65, MS66, or MS67 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, values can soar. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some 1956 D pennies have been discovered with rare die varieties or mint errors that make them incredibly valuable. For example, double die obverse pennies from this year, though extremely rare, can be worth thousands of dollars. Also, some examples have off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or die cracks that add serious collector interest and big price tags. One of the most legendary 1956 D Lincoln Wheat cents ever discovered was graded MS67 plus red by PCGS and sold for over $15,000 at auction. But wait, it gets even better. In a private sale, a unique specimen of the 1956 D penny reportedly sold for over $1 million due to a combination of flawless condition, blazing red luster, and an ultra-rare die variety with a dramatic repunched mint mark and doubling on Lincoln's profile. This coin was not only perfect in appearance but also incredibly rare in its production characteristics. Only one known example like this has surfaced, and it's now considered one of the most valuable wheat pennies in existence. So how do you know if you have a valuable 1956 D penny? Here's what to look for. First, check the overall condition. Coins with no wear, sharp details, and bright red luster are the most valuable. These are known as mint state red coins, and they command the highest prices. If you have a coin that looks perfect, it's worth having it professionally graded. Second, examine the mint mark. Some 1956 D pennies have a repunched D mint mark, where the letter was punched into the die more than once, creating a visible doubling effect. These varieties are highly collectible and worth significantly more than regular issues. Third, look for any signs of doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering. A true double die can be worth thousands. And lastly, consider any off-center strikes, die breaks, or unusual features. Errors like these are rare and valuable, and collectors love them. Now let's talk about the current market. As of this year, 2025, the 1956 D Lincoln Wheat cent continues to be a hot commodity among collectors. In circulated condition, values are modest, usually just a few cents to a couple dollars depending on grade. But in uncirculated condition, especially coins that have been professionally graded MS65 or higher with a red designation, prices often start at $25 and can go up into the hundreds. Coins graded MS66 red often sell for $200 to $400. MS67 red examples can bring in over $1,000, and in top population grades with exceptional eye appeal, prices can jump even higher. Error varieties like the repunched mint mark 1956 D RPMs have sold for $500 to over $1,000 depending on grade and clarity of the doubling. And of course, rare one-of-a-kind coins, like the $1 million MS67 plus red double die specimen, are true numismatic treasures. So what does all this mean for you? Well, if you happen to have a jar of old pennies sitting around, or maybe a coin album passed down from a relative, it's definitely worth checking for 1956 D wheat pennies. Take a close look at the condition, the mint mark, and any possible doubling or errors. You never know, you might be holding a tiny copper coin worth thousands or even millions of dollars, and remember, proper storage is key. Keeping your coins in protective holders or coin flips will help preserve their condition and protect their value over time. Avoid touching them with bare hands, and never clean them. Cleaning a coin can reduce its value dramatically. To sum it all up, the 1956 D Lincoln Wheat penny may be small in size and originally worth just 1 cent, but some examples are now worth life-changing amounts of money. From their historical significance and beautiful design to their rare errors and high-grade appeal, These coins continue to capture the imagination of collectors all over the world. So whether you're treasure hunting, building your collection, or just curious about what that old penny might be worth, the 1956 Lincoln wheat cent is definitely one to watch. We are diving deep into the fascinating world of United States coinage, with a special focus on one of the most iconic and collectible coins in American history, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny. This 1-cent coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but there's more to it than meets the eye. Whether you've just found one in an old jar or inherited a coin collection, the 1956 wheat penny could be worth much more than just 1 cent. In fact, depending on its condition and variety, some 1956 Lincoln cents have been sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auctions. Stay tuned, because we're going to break down everything you need to know about this coin, from its origin and design, to the rare errors that make it a collector's dream, and its current market value in 2025. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the front of the coin shows a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse features 2 wheat stalks encircling the words 1 cent and United States of America. That wheat design gave the coin its popular nickname, the wheat penny. The 1956 Lincoln cent was part of the last few years of the wheat penny era. By 1959, the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial. So, 1956 coins are among the final issues to carry the iconic wheat design, which already gives them a nostalgic appeal among collectors. In 1956, the United States Mint produced Lincoln wheat pennies at 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins struck in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while those made in Denver have a small d just below the date on the front of the coin. Over 420 million wheat pennies were minted in Philadelphia in 1956, and over 1 billion were produced in Denver. Yes, over 1 billion coins. That means the 1956 penny is not particularly rare in circulated condition. However, coin collecting is not just about rarity, it's about condition, errors, varieties, and desirability. And that's where the 1956 penny starts to shine. Let's talk condition. A typical 1956 penny pulled from pocket change today is worth about 3 to 5 cents due to its copper content and collectible status. But if it's in uncirculated condition, meaning it has no wear and retains its original mint luster, it can be worth a lot more. A 1956 penny graded MS65 red, which means it has a strong mint state and full red color, can fetch between $15 and $40. Some coins in top grades like MS67 red have sold at auctions for hundreds of dollars, and if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear about the error coins. These are the real gems that collectors dream about. Error coins occur when there's a mistake during the minting process, and they can include double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and more. One of the most famous and valuable varieties of the 1956 wheat penny is the 1956 D double die obverse. In this variety, you can actually see doubling in the inscriptions on the front of the coin, particularly in the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as in the date itself. These double die errors are extremely popular among collectors and can be worth several hundred to even over $1,000 depending on condition. Another collectible variation is the repunched mint mark, often abbreviated as RPM. This occurs when the Denver mint mark was accidentally stamped more than once, and the impressions do not line up perfectly. Some 1956 D RPM varieties have sold for over $100, especially in higher grades. Then there are off-center strikes, where the coin design is not centered on the blank. These types of errors are highly sought after and their value depends on how off-center the strike is. A 1956 wheat penny that is 50% off-center and shows a full date can sell for several $100s. There are also coins struck on the wrong planchets. Occasionally, a 1956 penny may have been struck on a dime planchet or a foreign coin blank, leading to lightweight coins with odd appearances. These rare errors are worth a lot, in some cases, over $1,000. Let's also not forget about proof-like strikes and full red gems found in original mint rolls. Collectors will pay a premium for coins with full, bright red color, no spots, no carbon damage, and sharp details. These are the kinds of coins that can push into the four-figure price range when graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. What is the highest amount ever paid for a 1956 wheat penny? At the top end of the market, a 1956 D. Lincoln cent graded MS-67 Plus read by PCGS sold at auction for over $7,000. That's right, a 1-cent coin sold for over $7,000. Why? Because it was in superb condition, with blazing red luster, near-perfect surfaces, and exceptional eye appeal. Now let's look at the current market as of 2025. The value of a 1956 penny in average circulated condition is still just a few cents. But in uncirculated grades, values are rising steadily. With more collectors entering the hobby and the supply of high-quality coins dwindling, prices for mint state coins and rare varieties are on the rise. Here's a quick breakdown of current average values in 2025. A 1956 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in MS-63 red is worth about $10 to $1.15 in MS-65 red. It sells for around $30 to $1.45. A 1956 D. Lincoln penny in MS-67 red sells for around $100 to $200, sometimes Moria confirmed 1956 D. double die error can sell for $500 to $1,200 depending on grade off. Center errors and wrong planchet strikes range from $200 to over $1,000, and if you happen to find a near-perfect gem with full luster and strong eye appeal, graded MS-67 Plus read by a top grading service, your penny could be worth over $7,000 today. So before you toss that old penny aside, take a closer look. Check the date, check for a mint mark, inspect for doubling or striking errors, and always consider sending it to a professional grading service if you suspect you have something special. That's the story of the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. A coin rich in history, full of charm, and potentially worth a fortune. Whether you're a casual collector, a seasoned numismatist, or just someone curious about the change in your pocket, this little copper coin is a true symbol of American history, and in some cases, a valuable hidden treasure. We explore the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. If you're a coin collector or just someone curious about that old penny you found in your drawer, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the world of one of the last and most iconic wheat pennies ever minted, the 1958 D. Lincoln wheat penny. You may think a penny is just worth 1 cent, but after watching this video, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. Let's talk about the history of this remarkable coin. The 1958 D. Lincoln wheat penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, and it holds a special place in numismatic history. It was the very last year that the famous wheat ears design appeared on the reverse side of the penny. This design had been in use since 1909 when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, making the 1958 D coin the final chapter in a 50-year legacy of the wheat penny era. The obverse of the coin features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, can be seen on the reverse side of earlier 1909 issues, but by 1958, they were subtly engraved under Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse side. Above Lincoln's head reads the motto, "In God We Trust," with "Liberty" to his left and the year, 1958, with a small D mint mark beneath it, signifying it was minted in Denver. The reverse of the coin displays the two wheat stalks framing the words, 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto, E pluribus unum, at the top. This simple yet elegant design is beloved by collectors and instantly recognizable to anyone who has ever held one of these historic coins. Now let's get into the numbers. Over 800 million 1958 D. Lincoln wheat pennies were minted, making it one of the most heavily produced pennies in U.S. history. Because of this high mintage, the majority of these coins were considered common for many years. However, not all 1958 D pennies are created equal. Some have unique characteristics, mint errors, and pristine conditions that make them highly desirable among collectors. So how much is a 1958 D. Lincoln wheat penny worth today? Well, that depends on a few important factors, including its condition, whether it has any errors, and whether it has been graded by a professional coin grading service. In circulated condition, most 1958 D pennies are worth between 3 to 10 cents, which is not much over face value. But when you find one in uncirculated condition, that's when things get interesting. An uncirculated 1958 D penny can fetch anywhere from $1 to $10 depending on the coin's luster, strike quality, and eye appeal. But it doesn't stop there. Coins that have been graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can sell for significantly more, often between $25 and $100. Now here's where it gets really exciting. Some 1958 D Lincoln Wheat pennies in mint state red condition have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auction. One example is a stunning coin graded MS67 Plus red by PCGS, which sold for over $3,000. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that sold for more than $3,000 simply because of its incredible condition and eye-catching color. Even more astonishing are the rare error coins. Some 1958 D Lincoln Wheat pennies are known to have double die obverse errors, although they are extremely rare. If you happen to come across a coin where the date or lettering appears to be doubled, it might be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, one 1958 penny without a mint mark, with a strong double die obverse error, sold for over $100,000 at auction. That's why it's so important to closely inspect your coins. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to look for signs of doubling, strong details, or anything unusual. Even slight minting errors like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks can increase the value of your coin dramatically. Let's take a moment to appreciate the significance of the 1958 D penny as the final wheat reverse issued for circulation. Starting in 1959, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial design in honor of the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This marked the end of an era and made the 1958 D one of the most historically important Lincoln cents ever produced. So, what should you do if you find a 1958 D Lincoln Wheat penny in your collection? First, check its condition. Is it worn down or still shiny and crisp? Then look for any unusual features or possible errors. If it looks promising, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. You never know, that old penny sitting in your coin jar could be worth a small fortune. In today's market, the demand for high-grade wheat pennies continues to grow. Collectors are constantly searching for pristine examples to complete their sets. The 1958 D penny, being the last of its kind, holds a nostalgic and historical appeal that keeps it in high demand. Before we wrap up, here are a few tips for storing and protecting your valuable Lincoln Wheat pennies. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Store them in protective holders like coin flips, capsules, or albums made from acid-free materials. And finally, keep them in a cool, dry place away from humidity and sunlight to preserve their condition for years to come. So there you have it. The 1958 D Lincoln Wheat penny, a coin with humble beginnings that can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more depending on its condition and rarity. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, this is one coin that deserves your attention. Be sure to check your change, look through your coin rolls, and never underestimate the power of a single cent. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our future videos about rare and valuable coins. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a 1958 D penny or if there's another coin you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, happy collecting.